So first, we just want to find our centre in standing. So we're going to have our feet together, open them out into a V, and then parallel lines. And then we want our knees soft, and then we're just going to go up the body, and we just want gentle engagement of the pelvis. So if we imagine we're in an elevator and we're just travelling up to the 3rd floor, and that should allow some gentle engagement. And then we want smiling collarbones, nice and wide and open through the collarbones, shoulders melting down and back, long through the back of the neck, and just imagine your head as a helium balloon floating up, and it's just pulled up by a string. Brilliant. And now we're just going to bend our elbows to 90 degrees, palms facing up, and glide our palms away from each other. Just gently gliding our palms away from each other. And during this time, we can focus on that lengthening through the back of the neck and our head position. And we'll keep our rib cage melting down. And we're just going to take that another step forward by, in the next time, we'll reach out to the walls. So we'll reach to the wall, palms facing down, palms facing back up, and we fold back in. Reach to the walls, palms facing down, palms facing back up, and we fold back in. And again. It can feel like quite a deep stretch if you're not used to the movement. And we'll do one more. And on the next one, what we're going to do is we're going to add in some heel lifts. So we come up onto our toes and then back down as we come in. So reach away, come up onto your toes. Palms face back up, fold back in. Reach away, come up onto your toes. Palms back up, fold back in. And again. Reach onto your heels, onto your toes, up. Peel away from your heels. And again. Last one. And now we're going to come into some squats. So I'm just going to come forward for that. Yeah. So reach forward and squat down and back up again. Reach forward, squat down and back up again. Okay. 3 more. We want our knees tracking over our toes, not going off to the side. They have a tendency to go outwards. Squeeze. And we're going to take that a step further. The next time we come down, we'll stay down, heels up, stand up, heels down, arms down. And we go again. Heels up, stand up, heels down, arms down. Squat down, heels up, stand up, heels down. This exercise is great for our ankle mobility. And we go again. Some clicking. Squat down, heels up, stand up, heels down, arms down. squat down, heels up, stand up, heels down, and again, squat down, heels up, stand up, heels down, arms down, squat down, heels up, stand up, heels down. Last one, squat down, heels up, stand up, heels down. Okay, so we should be feeling a bit warmer now. We're going to do a couple of roll downs. Okay, take our chin to our chest, and we're just going to gently roll down one vertebra at a time. Until our fingertips reach the mat. And then we can just imagine our body like a rag doll. We can just swing our arms like a dead weight, just from side to side as we peel back up. Really slowly roll the shoulders down and back, and then lengthen through the crown of the head. We're going to do it again. Chin to chest, roll down, really slowly, one vertebra at a time. Knees are soft, and we just let our arms float down. And we come up, applying pressure through our feet, and we're just rolling and peeling up. And we glide our shoulder blades down and back and lengthen through the crown of our head. This time when we come down, we're going to come down onto our mats. So chin to chest, rolling down one vertebra at a time. Really, really slowly, feeling each segment, and we'll come down onto the mat. Okay, so we will need a small head cushion, so something like that, so not very thick. Okay, so if we bring our feet together, and then we open them out into a V, and then parallel lines. Arms are by our side, and then we're just going to find our centre. So if we do a diamond, so with our thumbs on our belly button, and we imagine a marble is in that diamond, and we're just going to roll it forwards, backwards, forwards, backwards. And we just want to do these pelvic tilts, and each time we'll make the movement a bit smaller until we find our centre, which would be the midpoint between both extremes. And there should be a tiny space underneath the waist, and that you should be able to place a piece of paper just there. Now arms are by our side, and we're going to go into stomach crunches, but I will guide you through them. So I want us to feel long through the back of the neck, shoulders melting down and back. Imagine a ripe peach just under your chin. We want to maintain that space as we do the exercise. So we're going to interlock our hands, our fingers, place them behind our head, and the movement is going to come from our abs, not our head and neck. And we're going to imagine springs from the bottom of our ribs to the top of the hips. And we're going to just shorten that spring as we come up and we curl up into a crunch and back down again. So it's a small movement, but very effective. So we shorten the spring between the bottom of our ribs and the top of our hips. And all the time we're maintaining that peach just under our chin, and we're going to relax our neck muscles. We should be feeling it in our upper abdominal muscles. We should imagine the head like a melon and the hands are just supporting the melon. The movement is from our abs. If we maintain that gentle engagement, we should all be feeling it right about now. And we're going to do 2 more. And last one. Great. Now we're going to do some for our side muscles. So we're going to imagine those springs again, and we're just going to curl across from our right elbow towards our left knee. And we're going to do 5 on one side. So 3, 2, 1. And we're going to repeat on the other side. So left elbow to your right knee. It's not touching the knee, it's just angled towards the knee. And we don't want the knees shaking, we want the knees stable. So if you want to apply pressure through your feet, then that's absolutely fine. Relax the neck muscles. Last one. Great. Now we're going to place our arms by our side. We're going to lift one leg up into tabletop. So it's at 90 degrees. Then we'll deepen the connection. Just have that gentle engagement. So draw the belly button towards the spine and float the second leg up into tabletop. Now we're in double tabletop. And we're going to do some toe taps. So tap down with one toe, then the other toe. One, and then the other. Relax those neck muscles. It's very easy to become tense from our neck. Drop the shoulders. Glide them down and back. Let them melt into the mat. The movement is from our lower abdominal muscles. Try to maintain the same angle so that your foot isn't coming closer towards your sit bones, but it's tapping on exactly the same spot. We'll do a few more. Last 2. Last one. And I want us to stay in double tabletop. And we're going to feel it. Okay, so we're going to float our arms up to shoulder height, leaving our legs exactly as they are. And we're going to circle the arms round into circles. So we're going to take our arms round in circles, leaving our legs exactly as they are. As we reach the arms overhead, imagine the rib cage melting down. Do not let that rib cage lift. And we're circling. Reaching overhead and circling. So imagine drawing 2 double Ds, capital Ds back to back with your arms. You will be feeling it in your lower abdominal muscles. That's completely normal. As you lift the arms overhead, imagine that rib cage melting down. And we're going to stay in this position. We're going to take the arms by our side and we're going to pulse. So imagine there's a puddle of water underneath your hands and you're making small puddles in the water. So I want us to now focus on our breathing. So we're going to breathe in for 5 pulses and breathe out for 5 pulses. This is quite a hard exercise, so if you want to put one leg back down onto the floor, then that's absolutely fine. And then you can rotate and put another leg, put the other leg on the floor. So we're breathing in for 5 and out for 5. In for 5 and out for 5. This exercise is called the hundreds, so we're meant to do 100 of these. So it's 10 lots of 10. Keep drawing that belly button towards the spine. Let your shoulders relax down and into the mat. Relax the neck. There's a tendency to get tension in the neck with these abdominal exercises. So imagine the puddles. So you're just doing 5 pulses, breathing in for 5 and then out for 5. Last set here. And we can bring one leg down and then the other leg down. And what we'll do is we'll take both legs to one side, drop them to that side, one leg on top of the other. Take your arms out to the side so they're in line with your shoulders and turn your head and neck to one side. And that should feel like a really, really lovely stretch. And then we come back to the center. And then we drop our legs, one leg on top of the other, so your heels are in contact. And then you take your head and neck to the other side. And you can just lower your gaze to your fingertips. I love this stretch after any abdominal work, so try to include it. And back to the centre again. We'll drop our legs to the side and then turn our head and neck to face our fingertips on the opposite side. Back to the middle again, and the last time. So now what we'll do is we'll come into side lying. So if you just roll onto one side, and we've got our small head cushion, so we're going to keep our arm outstretched in front. So our arm is long, and then you have your head cushion, and we want to be all in one line, so your feet, knees, hips, shoulders are all in one line. And if you find this position a bit challenging, you can just roll your top hip forward a little bit. And then if you take your hand and you can just place it on the mat, very light pressure. And then there should be a small gap underneath your waist. So we're going to lift the top leg, point the toe and then come back. Point the toe and come back. So now we're going to wake up our bottom muscles. And we're also going to work on our hip mobility. So it's less about how high you can take the leg and more about the length and controlling the position. So if you find that your hip is rocking from side to side, then that means that you need to reduce the movement. So you're only coming up a couple of inches, which is absolutely fine. And if you want an added challenge, then you can place your hand on the hip. Oh. You can place your hand on the hip. Last two. Last one. Okay, so we're going to bring our knees forward. So our hips are flexed at 45 degrees and our knees are at 90 degrees. And then we're just going to open out in between the knees for our hip mobility. So imagine it like a gate just opening up. And really squeeze your bottom as you open the gate. So your feet should be touching each other and you're just opening out through your knees. Squeeze the bottom as you open out. And once again, you can place your hand on your hip for some extra challenge. And if you're struggling, then you can apply a bit more pressure through the supporting hand. And we'll just lift the feet and do the same opening exercise. We should find that the range is now much better. We can open much more. Should be feeling a bit of a burn in that back pocket region. Keep those feet elevated, don't let them drop. Breathe in to prepare, breathe out for the movement. In to prepare, squeeze and breathe out for the movement. Great. Last two. Last one. Okay, so straighten the top leg. Keep the bottom leg exactly as it is. And we're going to lift that top leg and we're just going to kick forward. So just imagine kicking a football. So point the toe and then come back with the heel. Point the toe, come back with the heel. We shouldn't be rocking side to side. Probably feeling a burn in your bottoms. Strengthening our bottom muscles will help with any lower back pain or anything like that. The movement is coming from our hip, not our toe. So as much as you can imagine a paintbrush on that toe, you're just drawing a line and then you're rubbing it out with your heel. Drawing a line, rubbing it out with your heel. Last two. Last one. Okay, give that back to the tap. And let's come over to the other side. So we're all in a straight line, so arms stretched out long,
and then you're stacked in a line, so your hips, knees, and your feet. And then you can use your hand just for some support in front of you. And we're just going to do our lift and lowers. So we lift up and lower back down. Lift up, lower back down. Lift and lower. And if you're feeling shaky at all, then spread out your fingers and use the mat for support. And equally, you can just reduce the height and try to just go up a couple of inches rather than too high. So just as much as you can control the movement. So breathe in to prepare, out for the movement. In to prepare, out for the movement. Relax that top shoulder. It's very easy for that top shoulder to become tense. Last two. Last one. Okay, so we're going to bend at the hips, and we want our knees to be at 90 degrees. So our hips are just 45 degrees and the knees are at 90 degrees. And we're just going to open out. So this is for our hip mobility. Our feet are together, and it's just like a gate opening, or like a book opening. And we're squeezing the bottom as we open. Squeeze. May feel a bit of a shake, that's okay. Added challenge, place that hand on your hip. Squeeze. Relax that top shoulder and relax your neck muscles. Don't tense up from the neck. So why is hip mobility important? It's important when you're walking, it's important for running, pretty much most movements, because we spend so much time sitting, we get hip stiffness, and so that's why this exercise is great to mobilise the hip. Last two, last one. And we're going to elevate the legs, the feet, elevate the feet, and the same movement, but we should have more opening, and we've got to focus our attention in keeping the feet as they are, as well as opening. So. Relax the top shoulder, and just opening. Feet together, knees together. Feet together, knees together, and opening. Cool. Probably feeling it burning in your bottom now. Let's not forget about our core. So gentle engagement of our core during the movement will help us. Ideally, we only want light pressure through the supporting hand. So if you imagine you've got a poppadom there and you don't want it to break. Last two, last one. Okay, excellent. So we're going to keep the bottom leg as it is and lengthen through the top leg. And we're going to lift. Imagine a paintbrush. We're going to draw a line. We're going to rub it away with our heel. Draw a line, rub it away with our heel. So point your toe, come back with your heel. Point your toe, come back with your heel. So we shouldn't be rocking side to side. So if it's a small movement, that's fine. Relax that top shoulder. and your neck muscles. So this exercise is of course great for our bottom muscles and for our hips again. But we're also working on our ankles just by pointing our toe and then flexing our foot. Last two. Last one. Oh, and come back down. Give your bottom a tap and we'll come up into high kneeling. Okay. So if we just come up into high kneeling and we're going to interlace our fingers and look down at our hands. And then bring our hands forward to shoulder height. And really reach out with those arms. Really reach out with those arms. And then up to the ceiling. Keep your rib cage melting down as you reach up to the ceiling. And your shoulders should still be melting down. And then release them from the interlaced and reach up with one hand. Look at your fingertips. Relax. Reach up with the other hand. Look at your fingertips. Relax. Reach. Gaze across. Reach. 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 This exercise is great for any upper back tension. And a couple more. Last two, last one. Circle arms back round. Okay, we're going to take the arms in front of us to shoulder height and then out in a V. Out in front of us, out in a V. Shoulder height and into a V. All the while we're keeping our rib cage melting down. Last two, last one. Okay, brilliant. We're just going to take our arms out in front of us and we're just going to open out. So keep one hand facing forward and we're just going to open out through the other hand and follow it with our gaze. So imagine headlights on the hips facing forward and we're just rotating through our chest. And then the other side. And again. So this exercise is great for our pectoral muscles that are often tight because we're always sitting down and looking down at a laptop or a phone or an iPad. I forgot to say that if you struggle to stand, to be in high kneeling, you can sit on a block. Last two. Last one. Just going to bring our hands together in prayer and we're just going to rotate. Back to the middle again and rotate. And again. Once more on each side. Last one.
Excellent. Thank you, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the class. It was a step up from last time, but hopefully it was still good fun.